Good morning. It is 6:23 on a Saturday and I'm a little upset with myself for being up right now because I definitely need to go back to sleep at least for another like 2 hours. But I was looking forward to doing my video blog and actually committing to what I said. So I got up. I got some tea going here. Hopefully it gets dark. I like dark tea. But I'm waiting for it to get a little dark and then I'll add my milk and go in on that. But so this morning I wanted to talk about the benefits maybe of dating someone of your own culture. Um, I know it's kind of a random thing to be thinking about Saturday morning, but last night I went out with a guy that I've been seeing, and he's Nigerian. And every time we hang out, it reminds me like what are the benefits. So most of my life I've only dated like African American guys or Caribbean guys, and even though like there's a lot of similarities, obviously I grew up in New York City, and I grew up in the Bronx as a black girl, right? So I've always had a lot of common with African American men in the sense of like how I feel as a black woman, and like talking about those like this the historical and what it means to be a black woman. So and it's always been kind of nice to share my culture with them, and then also like share for them to share their culture with me. And the same thing with Caribbean men. Like, there's a lot of similarities in like the stews and stuff that we eat, but it's different enough that we have time to kind of share things with each other. And but like dating someone of your like very similar culture is cool too, because you can vibe on things that other people would not get, or like you can make fun of the differences. And it was just cool. We went to Buka, which is this Nigerian restaurant in Brooklyn, and it was just like I called to see if we needed to get a reservation, and the guy on the phone was like super Nigerian. He's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Okay." Can I? I'm like, oh hi, can I like set up a reservation? And he's like, how many? And then the guy I'm seeing took the phone, and it was just like went into the whole like patois. And that's another cool thing is that so in Sierra Leone we speak Creole, which is like broken English with English words. So it's not like the French Creole that the Haitian people speak. It's really an English Creole. It's like patois words and English words and this broken English. And so he speaks that too. So like he went into that with the guy. I guess they do speak that in Nigeria. They speak it in most West African countries actually, I want to say. So we can vibe on that level, and we can even vibe on things like when you go back home and you like I remember telling him the first time this like when you're like I'm very feministic and outspoken here, but when I go back home it's just like you start falling into when I go back home, when I say go back home, I mean go back to Sierra Leone. You start falling into like the norms there that I wouldn't do here. So like this the way like going to a party, going to a lunch, right, and seeing a man with his wife, and then going to the bar at night or the club at night and seeing the same man with a mistress or with another woman, and you're like, isn't that Uncle so and so? Not to say that's ever happened to me. I'm not trying to put anybody out there, but I'm just saying those are the things that happen that become commonplace when back in Sierra Leone. And not to say that every man cheats on his wife, but it's definitely more accepted than it would be here. So like here, the guy would be hiding. The guy would be trying to like, you know, take his mistress to some faraway restaurant that no one will ever see. But in Freetown, it's like, so we can vibe on that level because he kind of gets it, and he definitely can relate. I don't want to say relate, but he can laugh at it in a different way that maybe like another guy of another culture wouldn't be able to laugh at it. Um, so that's been cool, and then also just I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Like this, the take chargeness of it all. I think that sometimes, like I'm very opinionated, and we went over this in the Lean In vlog where I'm very, I don't know, some people might call it bossy. I call it, listen, let's just make decisions. I'm a decision maker, and so it's been interesting to be with, like, to be with someone that is like just as much of a decision maker in some areas, especially in like his life. Like he got his stuff together, and like usually I'm the girl that's like giving advice, telling you why it might be a good idea to like have a bank account. I'm just being exaggerating, obviously, but those are the kind of conversations that I normally have. It's like, oh yeah, and it's like, wow, this huge um like life changing advice that I give some guys that I've dated in the past, and just to be with someone that has his stuff together. And I'm not all the men that I've dated. I don't want anyone that I've dated to watch this and be like, "What the hell is she talking about?" But it's just a different feeling. So I guess that's today's question: is, what are the benefits of dating someone that comes from where you come from? Um, and I'm trying to give another specific situation. I think also like the I've dated guys in the past that have no interest in going to Sierra Leone, or like no interest in going on the continent in general. And to let that be a given is pretty cool. Like last night we were talking about where like whether we'd want to raise kids in back home and stuff like that. And he was saying like he definitely wants his kids to see Nigeria, because to know that things are not as easy as it comes here. Like here, if lights go out, it's like a big story. CNN is on it, on the case, and back home, if lights go out, if it's literally just a block, it's like, all right, cool, it was just a block. Everyone puts on their candles, everyone puts on their generator, and they move on with their day. While as here, that would be like a huge national story, and for the young people to get that is a benefit of living in a first world country like America, as opposed to a third world country that's literally just 50 years out of independence, right? Most of our African nations are just had their 50th anniversary of independence, so we are young countries and it takes time, right? So I think that that's pretty dope that he gets that. um, I'm trying to think of negatives. I guess negatives for me has always been why I haven't dated the African man in the past is like feeling like you're dating someone that's like your dad. Um, which my dad is a great guy, so but it was just always been this block for me. It's like, oh my gosh, you're like one of my uncles or one of my my dad. Like no, um, but like now that I'm older and wiser, I guess I've gotten over that. And speaking of my dad and my family, I will be seeing them later. Shout out to my little cousin who just graduated with something like a chemical engineering degree. He's gonna be making mad money, way more than I am, and he's like 9 years younger than me. So today's his graduation party. So we're all like going to Jersey to celebrate him and his accomplishment. And so, Nathan, I'm very proud of you. And that's see another African man that's gonna be like amazing, right, in life. So I definitely am reconsidering that whole like roadblock that I had, and we'll see. We'll see where this goes, and it might help. It might change my dating habits. I've always wanted I don't know. It just is actually Nigerian too. No, sorry, he is not Nigerian. He is Sierra Leonean and half Ghanaian, but he's mostly Sierra Leonean because we claim him. Um, but I guess Morris Chest, like I don't know. I've always just wanted, and let's be real. I guess I wanted like a LL Cool J, although LL is bugging out right now. But that's always been my thing, like that, like Ja Rule. Even I was into him for a while. Um, like this, I don't know. Let's not get into what my interests are. So that's my question. I'm putting this under 10 minutes. Do you think that there's a benefit to dating someone of your own culture? And what are the pros and cons? All right. I am going to go lay down in bed and see whether I can fall back asleep. And I don't know what the gym today. I'm going to try. If I don't make it by 9, I'm probably not going today. But hopefully I will make it by 9. I just hit up Inga and see if she's interested. She hasn't gotten back to me yet, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, bye guys. Have a great Saturday.